Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Black Ops 3 for some more custom zombies, and today we have a map that I didn't even know I needed in my life until I saw it there in the Steam Workshop. Welcome to Grove Street Zombies by Big Dog 76. This, of course, is based off of Grove Street from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which was a game that I think was a pretty big part of a lot of our childhoods, honestly. It came out in 2004, so for me, it came out on the PlayStation 2, but of course, it's also there for the original Xbox, and it was one of those games that I just played so much growing up, and keep in mind, I was... Gosh, so I would have been about 13 when the game came out. I played it a ton, though it was one of those games where I never actually beat the main story or anything like that. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything, even though we're talking about a game that is 14 years old at this point, but there are two main characters which end up turning on you. I've watched, like, Let's Plays and stuff like that after the fact. There's, like, two main characters that end up turning on you after the fact. I'm like, wait, what? That's a thing that happens? Like, I don't remember that ever happening, and it goes to show, like, I never beat the freaking game. There were so many games from my childhood that I played a ton of, but I just never ended up beating. How many points is the MA? Oh, come on now. Just slightly short. There's so many games, like, for example, my first gaming console, I think a lot of people know this, was a Sega Genesis, right? And when I got my Sega Genesis, I could only get a couple of games with it. It was a really big deal for me at the time to even have a console in the first place. And look at my shadow quality here. It's freaking terrible. But I got, like, Sonic and Knuckles, WWF Royal Rumble, I think there might have been a George Foreman's boxing in there, and Streets of Rage 2. I don't think I've ever actually beat any of those games. Like, I would always play Sonic and Knuckles. I loved it. It was a really fun game, but I don't think I ever got super far enough to actually see how the game ends. And the same is true for things like Streets of Rage. I remember playing all the time. I remember the characters. There was Axel, and there was Skate, and the big guy, which reminds me a lot of Brick from Borderlands. I forget the exact names. I always wanted to play as Skate. And of course, having a younger brother, I always got to pick who I wanted to be. And I always wanted to be Skate. He was always... Is his name, please say his name's actually Axel. The blonde-haired guy. I think his name was Axel, but he would always have to be that guy because I always wanted to be Skate, and we would play, and we would try to get far, but that was like the fun of like old school gaming was there wasn't really a way to save or anything like that. You would just kind of play and get as far as you could before you ran out of lives, and if you failed, well, you're starting over from the beginning. So I got pretty good at doing the beginning stuff, and then of course, those games transitioned into the original PlayStation and the PlayStation 2. I started playing the Medal of Honor games, and always was a big wrestling fan growing up. A lot of the old wrestling games as well, and then, of course, that kind of parlayed into what I do now here on YouTube. And I really kind of want to up my shadow quality because it's really bothering me that we have some straight-up Minecraft pixels over here. But yeah, this map here is based off of Grove Street from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And to my understanding, you can actually get inside some of the buildings, which is something we're going to be doing. Because right now, as you can see, it's pretty easy to survive once you grab yourself a rifle. Now, is that texture because of my shadow settings? Or is that just how the zombies look? So, I've been having some issues with my PC as of late. So many issues, it's actually kind of hard to make videos, especially recording stuff here on the PC. I had some zombies videos ready to go, but the recordings just kind of failed because there's so many issues going on here. I need to take my PC to get looked at. I'm not one of those people who is savvy enough to be able to fix the things myself and diagnose the issues myself. But I'm just losing frame rate all over the place on so many different games, and it's really just an issue. So let's go ahead and go inside here. I had to drop the quality. The wrong house, fool! That's an awesome Easter egg. Big Smoke! Big Smoke! Look, the quality on Big Smoke. Oh my goodness, this is bringing back memories. You know what's crazy is when you have flashbacks, the things you don't even remember, you know, right? Like, I'll walk into that building right there, and suddenly I remember that there was a game, if I remember correctly, that you could play on the TV. I'm almost positive it's like Asteroids or something like that. Like, I'm almost positive you could play a game right here, like playing a console of some sort. And that is a memory that I never thought I would remember again. Like, I haven't thought about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas in the longest time. I completely, like, in the very back of my mind can remember this was actually a thing. And if I never played this map, I likely would have never remembered that again. But here we are. This map, look at that, just dropping frames. Right there, I dropped like 30 frames. I have no idea what's going on here. I have a new power supply, and I think I'm gonna have to try and get that installed. And I know there's definitely something going on with my motherboard, which is probably the cause of most of my issues. So, like, you guys are probably more tech savvy than I am. My motherboard doesn't read all of my RAM. which is either an issue with the motherboard or the RAM, obviously. But I'm smart enough to know that I can, like, take out the RAM and put it in different RAM slots and, like, try and see which ones are faulty and which ones aren't. And I can't seem to tell, like, which ones are faulty and which ones aren't, because it seems random as to which ones work and which ones don't, and it's random as to what RAM I put into each slot. So I don't know what's going on with it. I'm going to take it to a professional here soon, because obviously my PC is a pretty big deal with, what I do here for a living and everything else. Both my hobby and my career involve this PC, so it's a pretty big deal to me, so I need to get that looked at, see what a professional thinks, because I am not the kind of person who is qualified in any way, shape, or form to mess around with that. I need to find Jug now that I think about it. I was thinking about, because I bought that power supply, and I was going to try to install it myself, and so I get all ready. I'm like, all right, time to put this power supply in, and I start taking it apart the PC a little bit, and there's so many wires in there. Just so freaking many. I'm like, oh, the cable management, because I bought it pre-built. That's how bad I am. I bought it pre-built from CyberPower. Which actually died on me. It was not dead on arrival, but the power supply like burned out within a week, which I think is what hurt my motherboard. I think all they did was replace the power supply when I sent it back to them. Then maybe the motherboard is still having issues. I don't know. But I bought it pre-built, and the cable management in there is actually pretty nice. I like it. Things are clean and nice, and I know if I were to try and unplug all of that and then put in the power supply and then try and manage everything else, it would take me several hours, and it wouldn't be a good job. And what if I mess up and I fry my PC or something, So I'm taking it to a professional where stuff like that is guaranteed, Obviously, I'll back up all my important stuff onto an external hard drive before we even go. God, those freaking shadows. But I need to grab, I don't want the CUDA. So I would assume, and just looking at that bridge, that brings back so many memories. I need to find Jug and the box. I'm not sure if this map is a Bible. I think it's not advertised on the page. In fact, looking at the page right now, it's open on my second monitor. Hey, a nuke and double points. I'll take both of those. He says this is his first quote-unquote big map that he's made, so don't expect much. And obviously, it's a pretty small map by most standards, but it's his first attempt at a full-on sized map. So let's see if I remember. Well, this is some environmental storytelling here. I don't remember this part of the game. Again, it might be a situation where I played the beginning of the game so many times that I have very fond memories of this building over here, but maybe not so much here. Actually, let's see how... Oh, now, I hope this is a proper memory and not something I'm imagining. Isn't there a basketball court? Shouldn't there be a basketball court right over there somewhere where you can actually straight up play basketball? That was one of the coolest things about Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was... It was a full-on role-playing game, and for me anyway, it was the first one of its kind. Obviously, there were many, many games before that, but it was the first one that I played. And so instead of I think one of the reasons why I never actually beat the main story or anything like that was because I would just focus so much on just running about and doing whatever. It's a big sandbox world. I remember to this day, it's one of my favorite mechanics in the game. When playing San Andreas, you can go to all sorts of different fast food restaurants. And your character, CJ, while he was your character and you couldn't, I'm a white guy, for example. I couldn't make myself a white guy and give myself brown hair and glasses or anything like that. I couldn't become me. I still had to play CJ. But you could customize CJ, not only in his appearance, but you could, go eat a bunch and then become either fat or get really skinny, depending on how you wanted to be your character. And you kind of had to, if you didn't eat a lot, your character would get skinnier. So it's one of those little things where it's I want to go, eat to maintain, this particular body type. Or if I recall correctly, you could go to a gym and work out and become stronger. I think you could get stronger, actually add muscle tone and stuff like that. It's different than, nowadays where most games you just kind of build your character at the very beginning and then, oh gosh, and then everything after that kind of doesn't really matter. Fallout's a good example of that. You make your character at the beginning, and then you go through the world, and until you get to Diamond City in Fallout 4, this isn't a spoiler, I think everyone knows Diamond City exists, there's a facial reconstructive surgery place in there, which most RPG games have, where you can change the appearance of your character. And, so say your character, I don't know, developing over time based on the things that you do in Fallout. If I'm eating a ton and I'm surviving well and I have a thriving settlement, it'd be neat to see my character, gain weight or something like that. Or, if I did a bunch of, missions into Boston or something and, went on a bunch of runs, it'd be kind of cool if my character got stronger, maybe faster. I mean, that's what the entire perk system's for, I guess, I suppose. But, okay, so we got Jug. How hurt is he? Did I blow off his arm? It looks like he's missing a hand. I think he might be too weak for me to nade him. So I know I can go in that building. I want to check it out, but I don't want to corner myself. All these buildings are blocked off. It's only the 2 buildings that we can go into. It might be. We'll grab stamina because I've been running around here for a while. But why not? Go ahead and grab that. I'm noticing that also there's no music to this map. Huh, so it is looking like the 2 here. So my recommendation, Big Dog, if you happen to catch this, which I know a lot of map makers tend to watch people's videos of their maps. Oh, you can't go in that door. If you're looking for my recommendation, oh gosh, I forgot that gun had no ammo. Oh, they're both no ammo. I'll grab ammo off the wall here. If you're looking for a recommendation from me, I'm not asking for the zombie went right through the couch there. I'm not asking for a huge rehaul or revamp of the map or anything like that. But viable endings. I say it all the time whenever I do a custom zombies video. I'm a huge fan of the viable ending. So if you could add one, it's fun. I mean, it gives you, when people download your map to play it, it's fun to have a set goal. Because for me, like right now, it's really cool to just walk around and explore and like go down memory lane. You did a great job in that respect. But at the same time, it's fun to have something to go for besides, just trying to survive as long as you can. Because I feel like, at this day and age, people aren't really necessarily going for like world records on custom zombies maps or anything like that. They kind of like want to see the map, explore the entire thing. If there's an Easter egg, that's cool. I'm not asking for an entire Easter egg or anything. At the very least, just put a viable ending somewhere. Give people kind of like a thing to go for. Although, for all I know, there may be a viable ending because I haven't actually. Okay, so you can't go upstairs right here. Oh, double taps right there. I didn't even realize. I'd love the big smoke Easter egg. That's so freaking cool. Got the Black Ops fridge in here. That's neat. Oh, you go all the way back here. There you go. You guys saw a Bowie knife. Here's a Bowie knife. Now, what round? I forget exactly what round the old Bowie knife stops being a one-hit. Is round 11? All right. Not round 11. Bowie knife was an interesting idea, but it always just seems so silly. 3,000 points. Unless the Bowie knife, I think, is like, you can get super early on, like it's in the opening room. It almost seems like it's never really worth getting, right? Because if you can have it at a super early round, it's kind of worth the 3,000 point investment. Because I forget the exact round, but like rounds 1 through 10 or something like that, you can get one-hit melee kills. That's a lot of bonus experience compared to, using guns and stuff. Especially using shotguns like the Bresci here. Shotguns are the worst way to get points. So freaking bad. You basically get points for the kill, which is fine, but you don't get points for, like, when you're shooting a gun, you get 10 little points a pop, right? Little bits of points there. And that's what gets you a bunch of, that helps you get going in the early rounds. So if you could melee, which you get a bonus for melee kills, that'd be pretty neat. I'm going to try turning up my shadows here really quickly. Let's see how this would affect the game itself. Shadow quality low. Yeah, I should be able to have everything on extra here with nothing running wrong. Oh! It's looking like the shadows. Oh, no. Okay, so these shadows are fine. Other shadows aren't exactly good. Hold on here. Where can we find more shadows? This PC should definitely be able to run like everything in like the highest settings possible, but it struggles. Like I said, I need to take it to get looked at by somebody. So yeah, the shadows actually look much better now. Definitely a lot better. But that's one of the things, like if your PC, that tree, however, the shadows on this particular tree, if your PC is struggling to run certain games, typically shadows are a big culprit of that. Just a little tip from Nero. I've gone through, not a ton of PCs, but I've gone through a lot of PC issues in the past. And that's definitely one tip I can give you guys. So I think this is where we're going to wrap up the video, sadly enough. There's a little bit of a nuke right there. That's kind of neat. I don't believe there's anything else to this map. There's nothing on the Steam page about there being a viable ending. Oh, never mind. Never mind, boys. I was getting ready. But you know what? I think there's more to this map. I think there's more that I just don't know about yet. So we're going to go ahead and get it. Although I will say, it's very easy to survive on this map with how open the little cul-de-sac here is. How many people know that word? Cul-de-sac. I was so confused, because like TV shows like that would bring up the term cul-de-sac. And I was like, what is a cul-de-sac? Like, there's no cul-de-sacs around where I live. And, yeah. All right. We get way too many crawlers right now. You're a little bit too fast. We're being selective with our crawlers right now. We'll just kill off a good number of you. We got places to explore, boys. And you're a little fast for my liking. No, I'll leave both of you alive, just in case. All right, so we have a garage here. That's where Pack-a-Punch is. Lots of skeletons. Lots of skeletons. Ah, there's no audio in here. A little odd, a little off-putting, that's okay. Like I said, it's his first map. And that's the thing. That's the thing about Custom Zombies. Like, we're not paying for any of this. It's all free. I love it. Custom Zombies is so much fun. You know, I love all maps, from like the greatest, Zeroid masterpiece, all the way down to, the remakes of Nocturne and Totem. They're all just so freaking good to me. So, I found most of the perks. We found Pack-a-Punch. Nice. The gun does have sounds. Okay. Let's see if there's maybe... Can I go prone for points? Oh, I don't think we can go prone for points, boys. No, it doesn't look like it. I want to see if there's another area we can get to. So the blocked off places are kind of obvious. This almost look... Oh. Oh. Well, Oh! Apparently there's a death zone there. Well, Big Dog 76, I found a little bug for you to fix, but... Regardless, man, that was a really awesome... It's such a cool idea for a map. Super original. In my opinion, keep updating it. Keep updating it to maybe slowly but surely, like, expand the street a little bit. Add more interior to the buildings. I don't know what you could do with the cul-de-sac itself. It seems like it's always going to be super easy to do the cul-de-sac. Always be able to just kind of like kite zombies around forever and ever and ever out there. So in terms of challenge, I'm not sure if there's anything you can do to the cul-de-sac itself. But yeah, definitely viable ending. Maybe slowly but surely keep working on it. Unless your passions lie elsewhere and you want to work on another map. But I think this is a really cool map. It has a lot of promise. And just based on the premise alone, it's bound to get a lot of attention. So, it got my attention. So I definitely recommend keep on working with that. And I think you're going to see a lot of success as a map creator. Because that is a really well put together map, in my opinion. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you guys here in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section below. And as always, download the map. Try it out. Link to that down there in the description. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed. Drop me a rating. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.